Let me tell you the story of a young man named Scott Young. He accomplished something that seemed impossible to the world. Scott completed MIT's 4-year computer science syllabus in just 1 year. At first glance, it seems like he must be some kind of extraordinary genius. But when people looked deeper into this, they discovered something shocking. First, Scott was an ordinary guy, and second, he had never even enrolled at MIT. He completed the syllabus using free online resources. That's not all. Scott managed to take his painting skills from beginner to professional level in just 30 days. And if that wasn't impressive enough, he also learned a completely new language, Spanish, in record time. Scott eventually wrote a book about his learning methods. However, the goal of this video is not to focus on his learning techniques but to understand how he managed to stay consistent and achieve one goal after another. Let me give you another example. This young man's name is Josh Waitzkin. Take a look at the final round of Taiwan's Tai Chi Martial Arts Championship. Here, Josh is facing an opponent with 10 years of experience. Josh's moves appear slow, and it seems like he's about to lose the match. But suddenly, he turns the game around and becomes the world champion. What makes Josh special is that he learned Tai Chi in a very short time. Even more fascinating is that before this, he was a state-level chess champion. Josh also wrote a book about his learning process, titled The Art of Learning. But here's our real challenge. When the new year comes, many of us make commitments, yet fail to stick to them. This isn't just my observation, data supports this fact. For instance, look at this article. It highlights how most people struggle to follow through on their goals. At the start of the new year, many people sign up for gym memberships, but 70% of them never use their membership. For example, if 1,000 people join a gym, 700 of them won't even step foot inside. The same thing applies to financial resolutions. Among those who set money-related New Year goals, 80% abandon them by February. How do we stay consistent? Let's address the elephant in the room and dive deeper into strategies that help us maintain consistency. The big problem has been identified. Consistency is the most difficult thing to achieve. But the question is, how can consistency actually be achieved? Before understanding how to achieve consistency, we need to explore a concept called the 4 tendencies. This concept classifies everyone in the world into one of 4 quadrants based on 2 axes. The x-axis represents outer expectations, and the y-axis represents inner expectations. Each of the 4 quadrants corresponds to a different type of personality. Once identified, there are specific solutions tailored for each personality type. The first personality type is the upholder. These are individuals who strive to meet both their own expectations and those imposed by others. Let's understand this with an example. There was a boy named Peter who worked in marketing and was highly ambitious. One day, he decided to run his first marathon. He planned to wake up at 5 a.m. every day to practice, regardless of whether he came home late from work the previous night or if it was raining. Since the day he promised himself to train for the marathon, Peter hasn't missed a single day. His consistency inspires everyone around him. Now, many of us might say, well, he's already consistent, so where's the problem with his consistency? One Saturday morning, as Peter was putting on his running shoes, his friend called him and said, "Peter, I need to talk to you. Can we meet for breakfast? It's urgent." Peter froze. His schedule didn't account for such interruptions. On one hand, he had his personal routine, and on the other, his friend needed him. He decided, forget about my friend, I'll stick to my discipline no matter what. But as Peter was running for his marathon practice, his mind was conflicted. His friend was walking alongside him. Now, if you're the kind of person who strives to meet both your inner expectations and the outer expectations that others have of you, then this strength, your greatest superpower, can also become your biggest weakness. Why? Because when you set expectations for yourself, you often fail to account for other variables. For instance, if you've been running for your marathon training for 6 consecutive days and miss it on the 7th day, you'll start to feel frustrated with yourself. Similarly, if a lot of friends convince you to go out with them and you agree, you may feel extremely negative afterward. As these external variables accumulate, you become increasingly dissatisfied with your own expectations. This frustration can grow to the point where you abandon the task altogether. So, the important question arises: what is the solution for people with this personality type? 1. Rule-breaking moments. Plan for situations where you allow yourself to break your discipline 20% of the time. While this may sound strange, since we're talking about consistency, this approach helps ensure that the pressure of that 20% doesn't overwhelm your mind to the point of derailing your entire target. 2. Understanding emotional costs. People with this personality type, known as upholders, focus excessively on doing what's right, but often fail to acknowledge their emotional state. When these individuals spend time with friends or family, they must understand that investing in these moments also contributes to their long-term success. There are the second personality type people, obligers. These are individuals who don't prioritize meeting their inner expectations, what they expect from themselves, but they will go to great lengths to fulfill the outer expectations set by others. Let's understand this with an example. Jack is a software engineer. He plans to hit the gym every day after office, but he always finds an excuse. It's too late today, I'll go tomorrow. Meanwhile, his weight keeps increasing, and his energy keeps decreasing. One day, he meets his friend Jenny, who mocks him, saying, "You're just an expert in making plans. Don't even think about going to the gym, you're only good at planning." This comment hits Jack hard. Jenny then gives him a suggestion. "All right, here's the deal. I'll go to the gym with you. If you don't go, I won't go either, and if I don't go, I'll make fun of you in front of everyone every day for holding me back." The result? Jack and Jenny started going to the gym consistently every day. Within 6 months, Jack lost 10 kilograms. He became consistent in his efforts because someone else held expectations of him. People with this obliger personality make excellent team players. However, their strength can also become their weakness. When others place too many expectations on them, these individuals might eventually burn out and abandon everything altogether. For example, Jack had another friend named Stacy, who was also an obliger. Stacy always helped anyone who asked for her assistance. However, one day, her friends planned a trip, and just 2 days before the trip, many people started messaging her for help. Overwhelmed, Stacy ignored all their messages and canceled the trip altogether. The solution for obligers: 1. Accountability. They need someone to hold them accountable. This could be a friend, a coach, or a trainer with whom they can share their goals. For Jack, Jenny acted as his accountability partner. Obligers don't necessarily need a coach for training, they need one for accountability. 2. Public commitment. They can publicly commit to their goals, such as sharing them on social media, repeatedly updating people, and allowing themselves to feel responsible for meeting those public expectations. To achieve your goal, say it out loud: "I am going to achieve this goal." Next, obligers must avoid taking on unnecessary burdens. For instance, Jack needs to understand that he cannot meet everyone's expectations. Hence, he must set boundaries and learn to say no to others for the sake of his goals. Third personality type: questioners. These individuals meet inner expectations but don't care much for outer expectations, i.e., they prioritize their own needs over others. Let's take an example. Mark is a software engineer who is obsessed with finding the perfect solution for everything. His biggest struggle? Decision-making. One day, he is assigned a project at work to implement new tools. His boss tells him to select a tool by the next day. Mark begins his typical research. This tool is good, but its monthly subscription is too high. The second tool is cheaper but lacks all the features. There's another tool that is affordable with all features, but its reviews aren't great. What was supposed to be a one-day task stretched into a week. His boss, now irritated, says, "Mark, how long will you keep researching? How will this project move forward?" For questioners like Mark, the biggest issue is analysis paralysis. They overthink so much that they fail to take action. Solutions for questioners: 1. Deadlines. They must set deadlines for themselves. Mark decided that whatever data he had by a specific date, he would make a decision based on it and take action. 2. Time boxing. Mark resolved to shortlist only 3 tools and finalize a decision within 2 hours. What usually took him a week, he accomplished in just 2 hours. 3. Follow trusted experts. Questioners don't have to find all the answers themselves. They should identify a trusted expert in the field and follow their advice. For example, when Mark needed a new laptop, instead of reading 50 reviews, he called his IT expert friend and asked for recommendations based on his requirements. His friend suggested the best option, and Mark made the purchase immediately. Next personality type, rebels. These individuals neither follow inner expectations nor conform to outer expectations. Translation. They care about what others expect from them. Vicky is a natural-born rebel. His mantra is simple: no one can tell me what to do. His default reaction to almost everything is, I won't do it. One day, his boss told him, Vicky, complete this project by tomorrow. Vicky's response, I am not doing it. When his friends asked him to join the gym, his reply was, I'll exercise my way. I don't need to join a gym. If your personality is like Vicky's and you are a rebel, here are some solutions. Solutions for rebel-type personalities. 1. Improve your identity. Change the story you tell yourself. For example, when Vicky's friend said, You'll never join a gym, Vicky's ego was triggered. He thought, I am a strong and independent person, and I need to prove that I can do anything on my terms. After that, he said, Yes, I'll join the gym, but I'll go whenever I'm free. 2. Work with freedom. Vicky's boss told him, this work must be completed by the deadline. Vicky told himself a story, I need independence. Whether I work during the day or night shouldn't matter to my boss. Thinking this way, Vicky told his boss, okay, the work will be done by the deadline, but until then, don't ask me about it. His boss agreed, and Vicky stayed consistent with his work. 3. Use the information consequences choices formula. Vicky mentor taught him this magical formula. Whenever faced with a situation, use these 3 steps. Information. Gather the relevant details. Consequences. Think about the possible outcomes. Choices. Make your decision accordingly. For example, Vicky had to attend a boring meeting, which he absolutely didn't want to go to. But he applied this formula. Information. The meeting is about project allocation. Consequences. If I don't attend, I'll end up with the most boring tasks. Choices. I'll attend the meeting because that decision is still mine. Vicky attended the meeting. 4. Set triggers. Vicky found going to the gym boring. His mentor advised him to set a trigger. Whenever you listen to your favorite song in the morning, go to the gym immediately afterward. Vicky linked his workout routine to his favorite song, making his fitness routine effortless. So friends, these are the 4 personality types we discussed in this video. Each personality type has its unique problems and corresponding solutions to remain consistent. Hope you liked this content. There are more such inspiring content available in my channel. Please do watch it. If you like this video, please do subscribe to my channel, comment and share this video. Thank you for watching.